Okay, everybody, for the purposes of getting started here, this is just a short video to show you how to create a Google account, how to set some things on Chrome so that it is user-friendly and personalized to you. So if you're using things like Edmodo and Google Drive and Gmail throughout the course or throughout your planning or your pedagogy or your andragogy, this perhaps is useful in terms of ease, efficiency, and sort of workflow. So in the beginning here, what we're talking about is creating a Google account and using Chrome as a browser as opposed to Firefox or Explorer. So down here, this might be on your desktop, but you can see down here at the bottom, we have a Chrome icon. It'll look like that up here on your desktop if you have it. We want to open that up. And when I open mine up, I go instantly to sign into Chrome. You would probably end up, if your home page was Google, something like right here. Just up in the top right corner, you would click Sign In. You can see the blue top right corner here. Sign in, and if you don't have a Google account, you don't need to create a Gmail. You would have to create a Google account to do all of this and use Google Drive in your future planning. So you would come down here to create an account. If you don't need to create an account, just log in, and you would already know how to do that. Create an account, and you would fill out basically these parameters, so first and last name. Right here it says choose your username at gmail.com. But if you have a Hotmail account or an Outlook account or a Live account or a WQSB account, you can say, I prefer to use my current email address instead. And by clicking on that, you can put in whatever email address you like. I already have done so I can't give you that as an example, but you would fill this all out. Believe me, my phone has been with Google for 10 years now. It is completely secure. I would recommend you put that in. I believe they ask for it to verify your email address and also as a recovery process. So consider it a security feature, not an insecure feature. Down here, type the text, just the text that you see right here, so 100. And you would type that in, agree to their policy, and next step. At that point, you would probably get to something like this, or you would already be logged in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in and put in my password. As you can see, I have the option of saving my email password or never. I always say never. This will pop up periodically. I wouldn't recommend saving your password. I would recommend logging in when you need to and staying logged in while you're using it, but please don't say save. It just compromises your account. If you leave your account open on a computer, on another browser, you put yourself in that compromised position. Someone can open up the Chrome browser and you might still be logged in because it's saved your information. So I don't recommend it at all. Or they'll get to a sign in for Google. It'll have your email and your password already in, and they just have to click connect or sign in, and then they're into your email address. So never is the option. Now up here we have a range of items here. We have Gmail, we have our images, I have my name, and I have this little pad. This little pad is basically access to Google Apps. So when I click on it, I can see I've got my account, I've got Google Search, Maps, News. This is Play. This is basically the Android store. It's movies, books, apps, whatever you want. YouTube, Gmail, Drive, which will become very relevant to us. Calendar, which is a great feature. You can organize your whole life and get notified about everything. It's a great way to remember relatives' birthdays, by the way, FYI. Google Plus, translate photos, and more and more and more and more. So for the time being, this is actually our account. This is where I would click and say sign out. I could add account. I could look at my account. I can change my privacy settings, etc., etc. So I don't want to do any of that right now. I do want to go up to these 3 horizontal bars. Now this is basically where I can change settings on Chrome. And this is where I can personalize and customize what I'm doing. If I click that and I scroll down here to settings, I can change settings. Now if you're a first timer logging into Chrome or logging into Google and you just created your account, you're going to want to start by signing into Chrome here. I know it seems weird, but this is where you can personalize to this email address. So We just signed in, but we're going to sign in again. So we're going to make sure that Chrome has the Gmail we want, or the email we want connected. Put our password in. We're going to sync and link our account to Chrome under this profile. And it's giving me the options, please sync everything. Yes. So in the future, when you do that on a new browser, on a computer you're not used to using, what you're actually in effect doing is you're bringing in all of the saved bookmarks you have, all of the saved history, hopefully not all the saved passwords because you don't save passwords, but it's going to bring everything in and remember you. So you're going to have an instant customized browser, and that will follow you anywhere, any computer, any lab, any place you go. That logging in here will bring all the features you've saved on your account into that browser anywhere you are, which makes it very nice because you can just bring your features with you everywhere. The next step is, so we've disconnected, we're not disconnected, we connected our Google account. I like to go down here and make sure I'm opening a specific set of pages or pages, and we do that by setting a page. That's on Startup, this section called on Startup. So I set a page, and I'm going to say I want google.ca to open all the time. Okay, and there it is. So I'm going to click it, and then I don't say add a new page, even though it's highlighted. If I want to have a second page open all the time, I can do that. So up along the top here, if I put in 5 different pages here, I could have all 5 pages open whenever I open Chrome browser. So if you're constantly using Edmodo or Google Drive or Gmail, as well as wanting google.ca up there for searching, you might want to add a whole bunch of those email or those URLs, and then when you open your browser, you'll have 5 or so tabs up here opening up on all the pages you've preset here. So that is up to you. I prefer just to open on Google and get started from there. It's your choice. For the purposes of this example, we're just going to set Google. Say OK. Done. Next, we have under Appearance, we have Show Home button and always show the bookmarks bar. This becomes especially relevant when we're doing stuff in here, or you're doing stuff eventually down the road for whether you're a teacher for pedagogy or you're a student for courses. This becomes very useful. So the Home button, as you can see, just appeared right here. That would bring me back to the page, the first page I set under Set Pages. So that is google.ca is where it's going to bring me. And I'll show you that in a second. The second one is the bookmarks bar. When I click on this, you can see it appears right here. Now, the nice feature about Chrome is I can drag bookmarks from different tabs down and drop them right on this bar along here, this gray bar. And I can get links all the way along them. I can right click and add folders as well. As you can see, I'll add a folder here and I'll call it, let's say, useful links for fishing. Anything, whatever you're using it for. And I hit OK, save, and there it is, useful links for fishing. Now when I go to a site such as fishing for bass, I might click on here, and I've got a nice site here for fishing. I can drag the address bar by highlighting it. I just double click until I've selected the whole thing. This is the address bar. I can grab the address and I can drop it down here on here. We'll do that first. So I can just drag it and drop it. Now I have a link permanently on this bookmarks bar. But if I'm organizing a whole bunch of links and I want to keep it organized right off the bat, I would probably drag it over and drop it. And you can see from that little rectangle that's sort of see-through that I'm dropping it in there. So I'm going to drop it right over top of the folder. And now when I click on the folder, there's my link. So this is a way to grow your links. So if you were a student and you were using Gmail, we might click on a new tab and we might go to Gmail, which we can also do from here, right? It brings us right into our Gmail eventually. And there we are. I might drag Gmail down now and drop it right here. Now I have my Gmail added as well. I might call this a folder like personal and save it. And then everything like Gmail and banking information and things that I do personally for myself are under personal. So I have useful links for fishing and now I have personal. Maybe I have a folder called professional. And I have students working on something like Photoshop. and I want them to look at, you know, let's say photo editing software, let's say Photoshop tutorials. And just up here, we have Photoshop tutorials on YouTube. So I would click this, maybe, drop it under professional. Now, here's the issue. Under professional, I could have a number of classes I teach. So instead of just putting Photoshop videos in under professional, which doesn't separate it, I might right click and make a folder. And I'm right clicking, by the way, right over top of professional. Make a folder, and I'm going to call it, as you can see from here, under bookmarks bar, under professional, which is open, meaning I'm making a folder inside of it, I might call it Photoshop. Okay, and I'm going to hit save, and now under professional I have Photoshop. So it's empty. I'm going to move Photoshop video into Photoshop. Maybe I'm going to add a folder under professional called Professional Development. And I have a folder called Professional Development. And I can organize folders within folders this way. Much, much faster and easier than adding links along here. Now, in an example previous, if this bar fills up, you would get a double arrow over on this side. It would just be a little arrow that you'd have to click on in order to get a drop-down menu that appears right here, where all of your extra links go that won't fit on the link bar. So ideally, use small titles for folders, keep it organized, and try to suggest your own folders to fill up the bookmarks bar as you go, and hopefully it doesn't exceed the length of space here. But if it does, that little arrow over there you click. I don't have one yet because I haven't filled my bookmark bar, but if I did, I would click that little arrow, get the drop down menu, and be able to find my links there. Okay, lastly on this, we want to look at extensions. Extensions are basically plugins and things like that we can use for Google Chrome that help us navigate, and useful apps and things like that we can actually add to the Chrome browser in a personalized way that we might find ourselves using. So I have Google Docs. I have Google Docs Offline. I have Google Sheets, Google Slides. I do not need Real Downloader. I don't know why it's there, so I'll delete it. And maybe I don't see what I'm looking for here, or I'm interested in more. So I can go down here and say Get More Extensions. Click on that. And for the purposes of this exercise, we'd want to add Screencastify as one app, and we want to add Google Drive Capture, Quick Capture as another app. So I'm going to type in Screencastify, and you can see it will find it for me automatically. And there it is, Screencastify Video Recorder. This is what we're looking for. So we're going to add this to Chrome. And I say yes, add extension, and you'll see right up here, when it installs, it will pop in. And there it is. So that's a video recorder. That's something we're going to use later on, or you might use later on, but there it is. Second one I wanted to add was Google Drive. We'll see what comes up here. This Google Drive Quick Create. You can see I have Google Drive already, but that's the main program. Down here, Quick Create is a useful extension on Chrome. As you navigate Chrome, you can just click the button. It'll ask you to title what you've just captured, and it'll put it right into your drive instantly. So you can also do this save to Google Drive as well. So very, very useful. So if you're on a website, save to Google Drive, you click, it saves a reference to that URL. So I'm going to add save to Google Drive, add extension, and I'm going to add Quick Create and add that extension. So both of those, they're the same looking, but you can hover over them and see Google Drive Quick Create and Save to Google Drive. Both very, very useful. And for the purposes of this exercise, there is one more example we're going to set. Now, if I'm on something like Gmail, on one screen here, I'm in my Gmail, and I want to open a new tab, but I want to see them at the same time. I would have to do something called split screen. So let's say I'm going to my Google Drive, and as a fact, I won't even type it in here.